The illusion of your dream life. What if your biggest dreams were never meant to come true, only to keep you spending? Let me ask you a powerful yet unsettling question. Whose dreams are you really living? Right from the moment we were old enough to dream, we've been encouraged, no, urged to dream big. Aim high, they said. Picture the best life you possibly can, they cheered. Society paints us vibrant images of success. The glittering sports cars, luxurious vacations to exotic islands, wardrobes overflowing with designer labels, penthouse apartments overlooking sprawling cityscapes, and the prestigious corner office that commands respect from every angle. These dreams promise happiness, fulfillment, and everlasting pride. Yet, pause for a moment and reflect. Have you ever noticed that as you chase these shimmering aspirations, they always seem just slightly out of reach? Every milestone reached is quickly overshadowed by another, bigger, brighter goal. The luxury car you bought 2 years ago no longer excites you because now there's a newer, sleeker model. The latest phone you proudly acquired 6 months back is already yesterday's news. The fashionable clothes that once gave you confidence now seem inadequate against the latest trends showcased on your social media feed. It's as if your dreams are continuously evolving, not necessarily growing richer in meaning, but simply growing more expensive. Here's the unsettling truth behind this constant cycle. These dreams weren't truly yours to begin with. They were deliberately engineered by the invisible hand of consumerism, an intricate engineer of desire. Every day, billions are spent to ensure your dreams align perfectly with corporate profit margins. Marketing specialists, psychologists, media executives, and digital influencers work relentlessly, meticulously crafting aspirations designed not to free you, but to bind you deeper into cycles of consumption. Your entire vision of success and happiness is subtly shaped by advertising and popular culture, carefully packaged and presented to you as your own heartfelt desires. But beneath the surface lies a powerful economic agenda. You're led to believe that achieving these milestones will finally deliver true satisfaction and fulfillment. Yet fulfillment in this paradigm is always a moving target. Just when you're about to grasp it, the goalposts shift again. Why? Because a fully satisfied individual is no longer a profitable customer. You must remain perpetually wanting, forever chasing, continuously spending. This manufactured cycle of aspiration is not accidental. It's the product of sophisticated psychological engineering. From glossy magazine covers and carefully curated Instagram feeds to blockbuster films and trending TikTok reels, each image, story, and advertisement subtly programs you to equate your self-worth with how much you consume. You're sold the illusion of happiness, packaged within the shiny wrapper of status symbols and luxury lifestyles. But it's a hollow promise designed to keep you reaching for your wallet. But perhaps what's most insidious is how this dream machine infiltrates your inner world, blurring the lines between authentic ambitions and those imposed from outside. You've learned to believe these desires are your own, personal aspirations born from your deepest values. In reality, your genuine dreams, those born from passion, purpose, creativity, connection, and inner fulfillment, are often quietly drowned out, replaced by shiny, commercialized visions cleverly crafted to benefit someone else's bottom line. It's a harsh reality, but understanding this dynamic is crucial. If you remain unaware, you risk spending your life chasing illusions, pouring precious years into pursuits that offer only momentary satisfaction, emptiness disguised as success, and perpetual dissatisfaction designed to make you consume more. The cycle continues relentlessly. your dreams growing more expensive as your heart and soul become increasingly impoverished. But here's the inspiring part. Once you recognize this engineered illusion, you hold immense power. Awareness opens a door, an opportunity to reclaim your authentic dreams and redefine what true success means to you. When you wake up from the aspiration trap, you realize you've always had the ability to choose differently. The moment you question whose dreams you're chasing, you begin the journey toward real fulfillment and freedom. In the pages ahead, we're going to deeply explore how your aspirations have been engineered, how this endless cycle of consumption is maintained, and, most importantly, how you can escape it. It's time to challenge the story you've been told about success and happiness. Because your life is too valuable to be spent funding someone else's dream. It's time to uncover the hidden truth. It's time to dream authentically. Are you ready to wake up? Manufactured dreams. Whose goals are you really chasing? Consider this for a moment. What if your dreams were not naturally yours, but carefully planted by someone else? Imagine, just for a second, that everything you've been taught to aspire toward, the symbols of success, happiness, and status, were pre-packaged and delivered directly into your mind by someone whose only aim was to profit from your endless pursuit. It sounds unsettling, even a bit dystopian, yet this is precisely the reality of the world you're living in. From childhood onward, you've been subtly guided toward specific aspirations. Think back to your earliest memories. Perhaps you imagined yourself living in a beautiful mansion, driving a flashy car, or becoming rich, famous, and universally admired. But ask yourself honestly, where did these dreams originate? Were they born spontaneously from your genuine passions and authentic self? Or were they subtly shaped by stories, images, and narratives fed to you by parents, teachers, media, movies, advertisements, and social media influencers? Most likely, your first encounters with dream lifestyles came through carefully designed messages embedded within entertainment and advertising. Consider movies and TV shows depicting lavish lifestyles, where wealth equates directly with happiness and prestige. Consider magazine spreads glorifying opulent homes, fashion runways presenting unattainable beauty, or music videos flashing extravagant jewelry, luxury cars, and private jets. At every turn, you're immersed in images that define what you should aspire to become, creating invisible templates for your future desires. But here's the hidden truth. These templates aren't designed to fulfill you. They're designed to profit from you. The modern economy thrives on your dissatisfaction. The happier and more fulfilled you are, the less likely you are to keep spending excessively. Thus, your dreams must remain elusive, perpetually just beyond reach. Your pursuit of them, whether consciously or subconsciously, becomes a never-ending consumer journey filled with products, services, and experiences marketed as stepping stones to your ultimate goal. Every luxury watch, designer dress, fancy vacation, or new gadget is positioned not merely as an object, but as an essential building block toward your happiness and self-worth. Consider a young professional named Sarah. Raised in a middle-class family, Sarah diligently pursued the societal recipe for success: great grades, a reputable college, a prestigious career. But as Sarah moved closer to what society defined as success, something strange happened. Instead of feeling genuinely fulfilled, she found herself locked in a continuous loop of spending more to prove her success to others. Each promotion meant upgrading her apartment, wardrobe, and lifestyle. Each achievement required another status symbol to validate her progress. The more Sarah chased this engineered vision of success, the more trapped and empty she felt. Her happiness was always one purchase away, an illusion meticulously constructed by industries that needed her dissatisfaction to survive. Sarah's story isn't unique, it's painfully universal. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever achieved something you believed would finally make you happy, only to discover the happiness quickly faded, leaving you chasing after the next shiny milestone? That's because your aspirations were never designed to offer lasting satisfaction. They're cleverly built to keep you hooked, creating constant, engineered dissatisfaction. This phenomenon isn't random. It's an expertly managed psychological strategy called aspiration engineering. Corporations, media conglomerates, and advertisers invest billions to deeply understand your psychology. Teams of researchers explore precisely what makes humans crave status, connection, validation, and identity. They then strategically use this knowledge to create powerful emotional narratives, embedding these psychological hooks into your subconscious mind. Every advertisement, every social media post, every sponsored influencer's glamorous lifestyle is an intentional step toward programming your desires. The result? You begin to believe these externally defined dreams represent your true self. You associate your identity with the products you buy, the lifestyle you emulate, and the status symbols you wear. As a consequence, your authentic dreams, those born from genuine passion, creativity, community, purpose, and meaningful experiences, slowly fade into the background. They're drowned out by louder, flashier, engineered aspirations deliberately designed to hijack your ambitions for profit. But there's hope within this uncomfortable realization. Understanding this hidden manipulation gives you back your power. Once you recognize the artificial nature of the dreams imposed upon you, you begin the journey back toward authenticity. You gain clarity about your own true aspirations, dreams aligned with your inner values, passions, and unique purpose. Take a moment right now and reflect deeply on this question. Whose goals are you really chasing? As uncomfortable as this might be, ask yourself honestly, do your ambitions serve your soul, or are they merely fueling someone else's economic machine? Do your aspirations bring genuine joy, purpose, and fulfillment, or are they designed to create endless consumer dissatisfaction? Awareness is your first step toward reclaiming your authentic dreams. In the sections ahead, you'll uncover exactly how this aspiration engineering works in detail, the deep psychological tactics used to manufacture desires, and how entire industries benefit from keeping your authentic dreams buried beneath layers of consumer-driven illusions. The truth might be uncomfortable, even painful at first, but remember, discomfort is where authentic transformation begins. Facing this truth head-on is what will set you free. It's how you reclaim your life, your aspirations, and ultimately, your true happiness. Are you ready to dismantle the illusion? Are you ready to begin the journey back to your real dreams? If so, let's dive deeper. The consumption machine. Why your dreams require spending. Have you ever stopped to wonder why nearly every modern dream, every picture-perfect version of success you're encouraged to chase, inevitably revolves around spending money? Take a step back and observe closely. Whether it's the luxury car that promises prestige, the upscale vacation that symbolizes freedom, the latest tech gadget you believe enhances your lifestyle, or even something as subtle as the branded clothing you wear to signify belonging, it all requires you to open your wallet again and again. Why is that? Because your aspirations have been intentionally built into the fabric of a vast, powerful machine, the consumption machine. And this machine thrives on your perpetual, never-ending spending. Let's explore exactly how this works, logically and vividly. the cycle of engineered desire and deliberate dissatisfaction. Imagine this cycle as a carefully crafted wheel turning endlessly. Desire creation. Advertising, media, influencers, and cultural narratives seed your mind with images of luxury, status, and lifestyle. You start to believe these represent true happiness and fulfillment. Emotional triggering. These engineered images trigger emotional needs, validation, acceptance, belonging, admiration, and self-worth. Consumption. You respond to these triggers by purchasing products or experiences positioned as essential stepping stones to your dreams. Temporary satisfaction. Briefly, you experience pleasure, fulfillment, or pride. But soon after, these feelings fade because they were never deeply authentic to begin with. Renewed desire and dissatisfaction. Marketers immediately introduce newer, shinier dreams, strategically designed to make your previous purchases obsolete, inadequate, or outdated. The cycle begins again, endlessly repeating. And at every turn of this wheel, you spend more money, invest more resources, and lose more time chasing dreams that are constantly evolving and always just beyond your grasp. Dreams designed to cost. Consider the car industry, one of the most iconic examples of the consumption machine at work. Imagine you've dreamed your whole life of owning a luxury car, envisioning how it symbolizes success, prestige, and fulfillment. After years of hard work, you finally purchase your dream vehicle. Initially, you experience genuine happiness and pride. You've made it after all. But within months, advertisements and media subtly shift your perspective. The newer model, slightly redesigned and more powerful, is introduced. Social media influencers showcase their upgraded vehicles, signaling that your recent purchase is no longer the ideal symbol of success. Gradually, the pride you felt dissipates, replaced by insecurity and dissatisfaction. Suddenly, your once beloved car is no longer sufficient to represent your aspirations. You begin planning your next upgrade. This cycle repeats across every imaginable consumer category. Fashion and apparel. Each new season introduces fresh trends, rendering your wardrobe quickly outdated. Electronics. Technology brands launch incremental upgrades, encouraging consumers to continuously replace devices. Travel and leisure. Exotic destinations constantly pushed through media create FOMO, fear of missing out, pressuring you to book expensive vacations to keep pace. Beauty and wellness. New products promise transformative self-improvement, continuously requiring fresh investment. Each industry depends entirely on your recurring dissatisfaction. The moment you're completely satisfied is the moment you stop spending. Therefore, your dreams must be structured to remain eternally elusive, slightly beyond your reach, ensuring your wallet remains open indefinitely. The psychology of manufactured aspirations. The consumption machine isn't just about selling physical products. It strategically exploits human psychology. Here's how. Social proof. Seeing others display symbols of success convinces you these items are necessary for social acceptance. Identity alignment. Brands carefully align products with desired identities, success, status, attractiveness, so your purchases feel essential to becoming who you wish to be.
Fear of inadequacy. Media constantly suggests that without the latest products, you're falling behind, driving perpetual anxiety-based spending. Incremental rewards. Short-lived emotional highs reinforce consumption, training you to seek repeated doses of temporary satisfaction. Case study: the luxury lifestyle trap. Consider a man named Michael, who has always envisioned himself successful and admired. Influenced by media portrayals of luxury lifestyles, Michael chases status symbols, a luxury watch, high-end suits, an impressive home to validate his worth. With each purchase, he feels a rush of accomplishment, but this satisfaction is fleeting. His dreams continue evolving, driven by external definitions of success. Soon, his spending spirals, financed increasingly by debt. Michael's dreams have been engineered to be endless and expensive. Despite having a high income, he's trapped financially, never genuinely content, always chasing another purchase to reinforce his identity. His life becomes a perpetual race, fueled by manufactured desires, draining both his wallet and his emotional well-being. Michael isn't alone. Millions experience the same cycle daily, silently controlled by the consumption machine. The hidden price you pay. What does continuous spending truly cost you? Financial freedom. Your hard-earned income flows directly into corporate profits rather than investments in your genuine dreams and long-term stability. Time and energy. Endless aspiration chasing demands constant effort, distracting you from meaningful relationships, personal growth, and authentic happiness. Emotional peace. Constant dissatisfaction fosters stress, anxiety, and a persistent sense of inadequacy, eroding your self-esteem and inner peace. In essence, you're not just spending money, you're paying with your freedom, your peace, your joy, and ultimately your true self. Taking back control. Here's the inspirational truth beneath all this. Once you recognize how your dreams have been engineered to serve the consumption machine, you regain enormous power. Awareness grants you the ability to dismantle these artificial dreams and rebuild aspirations rooted in your authentic values, such as personal growth, relationships, creativity, health, community, and genuine happiness. Imagine shifting from consumer-driven dreams, like chasing luxury brands and external validation, to dreams that enrich your soul and enhance your real life. You might choose to invest in experiences rather than objects, to create meaningful relationships instead of superficial status symbols, and to build long-term financial independence rather than temporary impressions. The path ahead requires courage and clarity. You must question every aspiration, every desire, every purchase, asking yourself honestly, is this truly my dream or someone else's? Only then can you free yourself from the relentless consumption machine. Only then can you finally begin building a life defined not by what you consume, but by who you authentically become. Are you ready to break free? If so, let's keep going deeper. The illusion of success, selling status, not happiness. Imagine finally achieving everything society labels as success. Picture yourself living in that luxurious penthouse, driving your dream car, or holding a prestigious title at a major corporation. By society standards, you've officially made it. Yet deep down inside, there's a subtle, troubling emptiness. A quiet whisper that asks, is this really all there is? This paradox lies at the heart of modern success. We are taught relentlessly to associate fulfillment and joy with the accumulation of status symbols. Yet time and again, individuals who reach these pinnacles of so-called success admit privately or even publicly that they feel profoundly empty. Why does this happen? Because the dreams you've been sold were never designed to bring lasting happiness. They were designed only to reinforce your status, pushing you deeper into the cycle of consumption. The trap of status-based happiness. Modern society conditions us to equate happiness directly with status. It sends a simple yet compelling message. The more impressive your external achievements appear, the happier you will be. Thus, every purchase, every milestone, every accomplishment becomes a demonstration to the world, proof that you're worthy, successful, and living an enviable life. But here's the hidden reality. Status is inherently fragile. It relies on external validation, approval, and admiration from others to survive. Unlike authentic happiness, which originates from inner fulfillment, Status-based happiness depends entirely on others' perception of you. And as perceptions change rapidly, especially in today's digitally connected, hyper-competitive world, your sense of worth and happiness fluctuates uncontrollably. Why success feels empty? Let's take a look at Lisa's story. Lisa grew up in modest circumstances, dreaming of one day being admired for her success and sophistication. After years of hard work, she finally earned a high-paying executive role, bought the beautiful home she always imagined, and filled her life with expensive possessions. She did everything society said would bring happiness and respect. Yet something was fundamentally missing. Every night, Lisa found herself staring at her luxurious home's walls, questioning why she didn't feel the happiness she expected. Her expensive clothing, impressive job title, and upscale lifestyle felt increasingly shallow. She realized the approval she received online and at social gatherings was superficial, temporary validation quickly replaced by the anxiety of needing to maintain or increase her status. Lisa had bought into society's definition of success, but she hadn't bought happiness. She had simply purchased status. Lisa's experience reveals a critical truth. Society's version of success doesn't sell genuine joy. It sells the appearance of joy. And appearances are costly, fragile, and ultimately unsustainable. The economics of selling status. The consumption machine strategically profits by selling status rather than genuine fulfillment. Consider the luxury goods industry. Brands don't merely sell clothes, watches, or cars. They sell identity and validation. They market emotional rewards, respect, admiration, belonging, carefully packaged inside expensive products. When you buy a designer handbag or luxury watch, you're not merely buying a product. You're buying social status, prestige, and recognition from your peers. Yet this validation evaporates quickly. As soon as someone else acquires something newer, better, or more fashionable, your status diminishes. You're left chasing the next product, the next upgrade, the next symbol of success. This endless cycle ensures sustained profitability for corporations. They benefit from your ongoing insecurity, dissatisfaction, and status anxiety. Social media and the status game. Nowhere is the illusion of success clearer than in social media's status performance. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are status arenas, with millions competing daily for validation. Users post carefully curated snapshots of their best lives, vacations, expensive purchases, prestigious events, often masking their deeper insecurities or unhappiness. Behind every glamorous photo is often hidden anxiety, debt, or emptiness. But each new like, comment, and follower temporarily soothes insecurity, reinforcing the belief that happiness depends on others' approval. Social media platforms have brilliantly engineered environments where success is measured entirely by external validation. This feeds the consumption machine, driving people to buy products and experiences purely for status display rather than genuine joy. The psychology of empty success. Psychologists have identified a phenomenon called the hedonic treadmill, explaining why external success rarely leads to lasting happiness. When you achieve a milestone, your brain quickly adjusts, normalizing your new circumstances. Soon, your initial happiness fades, replaced by new dissatisfaction. You then pursue bigger, brighter achievements or possessions, yet your happiness never significantly increases. This psychological principle explains why status-based dreams consistently failed to fulfill. You're running endlessly on a treadmill, forever chasing validation, recognition, and admiration, but never reaching sustained happiness. Real-life examples of the illusion. Numerous famous figures provide powerful examples. Jim Carrey, actor and comedian, famously stated, "I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer." Anthony Bourdain, renowned chef and traveler, tragically admitted despite global admiration and success,
He experienced persistent loneliness and unhappiness beneath the glamorous surface. Celebrities, influencers, and wealthy individuals regularly share stories of battling anxiety, depression, and profound emptiness, even amid seemingly perfect lives. These examples powerfully illustrate the hollowness of externally defined success. Genuine joy and fulfillment cannot be purchased through status symbols or popularity. Reclaiming true happiness. Fortunately, understanding this engineered illusion offers an extraordinary opportunity. You can reclaim your power by redefining success authentically. Ask yourself honestly, what truly brings joy to your life beyond appearances? Which values deeply resonate with your heart and soul rather than just impressing others? If no one were watching, would your choices still bring genuine happiness? Real happiness emerges when your dreams align authentically with your core values: purpose, meaningful relationships, personal growth, health, creativity, and inner peace. These dreams can never be sold or purchased. They are cultivated from within. Imagine living a life free from the status race, no longer driven by external validation. Imagine building authentic success, defined by deep, lasting joy, rather than fragile appearances. You have the power right now to step off the treadmill, abandoning empty symbols of success to reclaim a meaningful, purposeful, truly fulfilling life. The choice is yours. Will you continue chasing illusions, forever purchasing status disguised as happiness? Or will you bravely pursue authentic dreams, creating genuine success that fills your soul? If you're ready to uncover what genuine success really looks like, let's continue deeper into your journey of awakening.
Engineered dissatisfaction. Why your dream is always out of reach. Why is it that no matter how much you achieve, the dream always seems just a little bit further away? Why does happiness or fulfillment feel like a moving target, a horizon that shifts the moment you approach it? It's not an accident, it's by design. Welcome to the architecture of engineered dissatisfaction, the invisible blueprint ensuring that your dream remains eternally just out of reach, no matter how hard you try or how much you buy. The science of perpetual want. The system thrives not on your satisfaction, but on your longing. If you were ever truly, lastingly content, the economic engine would sputter and stall. That's why the dream, the car, the house, the look, the lifestyle, must always be recalibrated, refreshed, and slightly upgraded. You're taught to want what you don't have, then taught to want something new the instant you finally get it. Psychologists call this the gap effect. Marketers call it creating aspiration. Economists know it as the core of planned obsolescence, not just for products, but for emotions, self-worth, and even your very sense of self. You've been conditioned to feel that you're always one step, one purchase, one achievement away from finally being enough. Shifting the goalposts, how industry designs your dissatisfaction. Imagine a fashion brand. They release a new collection every season, making last year's designs feel outdated, even if your clothes are barely worn. Tech companies roll out incremental upgrades, so your still functional phone suddenly feels embarrassingly obsolete. Luxury car makers launch facelifts and limited editions every year, dangling exclusivity just outside your grasp. It's all intentional. This isn't a matter of progress or innovation. It's a sophisticated psychological strategy designed to make you feel left behind, less than, or out of date. The moment you arrive at one summit, you look up and find another peak, higher and more dazzling, has appeared in the distance, and the cycle repeats. Comparison is the engine of modern dissatisfaction. But it's not only about new stuff. Your sense of fulfillment is constantly compared, measured, and tested by the curated highlight reels of social media, the subtle one-upmanship at work, or even the accomplishments of friends and strangers. Algorithms know exactly what you crave, showing you lives that seem just more beautiful, just more successful, just more meaningful than yours. You're left feeling almost there, but never quite enough. This feeling keeps you scrolling, spending, striving, and searching for the next thing that promises to close the gap. Never arriving, the prison of almost. Engineered dissatisfaction is the invisible prison of almost. You almost look like the models on your feed. You're almost as successful as the people in those ads. Your life is almost what you wanted, but not quite. So you try again. You work harder. You spend more. You say, maybe this time I'll feel complete. But each win is fleeting. New standards arrive. New insecurities are marketed to you. The dream morphs, keeping you running toward an ever-shifting finish line. This is not a personal failing. It's a manufactured reality. The rules of the game were set before you even started to play. Who benefits from your dissatisfaction? Follow the money and you'll see. Corporations profit from your upgrades, your FOMO, your quest for status. Advertisers sell solutions to problems they invented in your mind. Financial institutions thrive on your pursuit of the next level, offering credit so you can keep chasing. The more you want, the more you spend. The more you spend, the further the dream drifts away. The emotional toll. This cycle of engineered dissatisfaction doesn't just drain your wallet, it drains your spirit. It breeds anxiety, restlessness, burnout, and even despair. It teaches you that happiness is always tomorrow, never today, that you must earn your worth through endless striving. It can make life feel like an endless chase, a treadmill disguised as a path to fulfillment. Breaking the spell, the first step. The first step to freedom is awareness. Recognize the pattern. See how you are being played. Understand that the not enough feeling is not a flaw in you, but a feature of the system. Once you see the machinery at work, you can begin to question, what truly matters to me beyond what I'm told to want? Where have I sacrificed joy for someone else's profit? How much of my life has been spent chasing someone else's moving target? Your dream doesn't have to be engineered by others. Your sense of enough can be defined from within. Are you ready to step off the treadmill and reclaim your sense of fulfillment? If so, let's look at the next layer of this system, the role of social media in hijacking your ambitions and turning your dreams into public performance. The debt trap, funding their dreams, losing yours. Imagine this. You're chasing your dream life. The new car, the perfect home, the latest gadgets, the trendy clothes, the vacations you've seen 1,000 times on your feed. But beneath the glossy surface, a harsh truth lurks. Your dream is quietly being financed not by your growing wealth, but by growing debt. And while you believe you're building your own future, what you're really building is someone else's empire. How dreams become debts? It starts small, a credit card to build your credit or handle emergencies, a personal loan for that once-in-a-lifetime trip, buy now, pay later for the newest phone. Before long, your monthly income is carved into payments for things you barely remember wanting, let alone truly needing. Every purchase feels justified. I deserve this. Everyone has one. It's an investment in myself. But as each bill arrives, so does a subtle anxiety, a tightening in your chest, a nagging in your mind. Your paychecks pass through your hands, funneled swiftly into someone else's coffers. Banks, credit card companies, lenders, brands. The dream was supposed to set you free. Instead, it has shackled you. The business of aspirational debt. Here's the uncomfortable truth. There's a trillion-dollar industry built on financing your aspirations. Credit cards with sky-high interest rates prey on your need for instant gratification and your fear of missing out. Zero-down offers and easy payments make luxuries feel accessible until you add up the total cost. Student loans promise access to the dream, but too often become lifelong chains. Mortgage brokers, car dealers, and exclusive travel clubs know exactly how to stoke your desire and ease your resistance to debt. Each layer of progress and upgrade is accompanied by its own financial leash, carefully measured to keep you running, never quite arriving, never truly free. Debt as a tool of social control. Why is this so effective? Because debt isn't just a financial mechanism, it's psychological and social too. Debt keeps you dependent. If you owe, you can't just walk away. Debt keeps you compliant. You're less likely to take risks, speak up, or change direction if it might jeopardize your ability to pay. Debt keeps you performing. As long as you're in the system, you have to play by its rules, chasing paychecks, chasing approval, chasing the next upgrade. The very things you thought would make you independent can become invisible bars on a golden cage. Real lives, real struggles. Take Jacob, for example, a smart, ambitious young professional. He lands a high-paying job, buys a new car, upgrades to a chic apartment, and treats himself to weekend getaways. His Instagram looks like a highlight reel of success, but behind the scenes, he's juggling credit cards, student loans, and a hefty car payment. The smallest emergency, a layoff, an unexpected expense could collapse his carefully managed house of cards. Or consider Mia, who grew up believing a degree from a top university was her ticket to happiness. She took out massive loans, graduated into a competitive job market, and now sends most of her paycheck to the bank each month. She's educated, hardworking, and stuck. Her dreams of travel, entrepreneurship, or even a family of her own delayed by years of repayment. These are not isolated stories. They are the new normal. The emotional toll of debt. Debt doesn't just drain your bank account, it drains your spirit. It breeds anxiety, shame, and resentment, especially when you realize much of what you've bought was never truly your own dream, but someone else's marketing strategy. You work hard, yet always feel behind. You achieve milestones, yet happiness slips further away. Debt steals your sense of security, your freedom to choose, your hope for a future unburdened. How the system profits from your chains. Remember, the more you owe, the more powerful the system becomes. Banks collect interest for years, even decades. Lenders and credit agencies use your data to predict and manipulate your spending. Marketers feed on your stress, promising relief through the next purchase, the next upgrade, the next escape. Your perpetual chase for the dream is what keeps their world spinning. Breaking free, rewriting the dream. But there is a way out, a new story if you choose to write it. It begins with awareness, seeing the trap for what it is, recognizing whose dreams you're actually funding, and understanding that debt is not an inevitable part of aspiration. You have the power to step off this treadmill, reclaim your paycheck, reclaim your choices, reclaim your future. It might not look like the glossy lives on your feed, but it will feel like real freedom, something money and marketing can never buy. If you're ready to see what chasing your authentic dreams, debt-free, can truly feel like, let's keep moving forward. Next, we'll examine the hidden cost of this endless chase. Not just your money, but your most precious resources, your time, your freedom, and your life. The real cost. How your dreams steal your time and freedom. When you imagine the cost of chasing your dreams, you probably think first about money. How much you've spent, how much you owe, how much you still need to buy your way into the next milestone. But there's a price even higher than what shows up on your bank statement.
It's the cost of your time, your freedom, your life itself. Time, the currency you never get back. Think about the hours, days, years you've devoted to pursuing someone else's version of success. The overtime at work, hoping for a promotion so you can afford the next upgrade. The weekends sacrificed, not for joy or connection, but to maintain an image or status. The precious mornings and evenings traded for commutes, side hustles, or scrolling endlessly for inspiration that rarely brings real peace. Time is the most valuable thing you own. Money lost can be earned again. Time lost is gone forever. Yet in the aspiration trap, you're encouraged to hustle non-stop, to glorify busyness, to spend your present moment investing in a future that's always one purchase, one achievement, one step away. Ask yourself honestly, how much of your life have you spent waiting for happiness to arrive? Freedom, the opportunity cost of chasing illusions. The aspiration trap doesn't just claim your hours, it narrows your freedom too. The freedom to explore, to rest, to simply be without the pressure of performance. The freedom to try new paths or take risks, unencumbered by debt or the fear of falling behind. The freedom to shape your own values instead of inheriting them from marketers, algorithms, or the expectations of others. Every time you say yes to someone else's dream, you say no to something inside you. You surrender opportunities for creativity, for adventure, for relationships, for growth. In the end, the real cost isn't the price tag on an object, but the quiet forfeiture of possibilities you never even considered because you were too busy chasing the prescribed dream. Life on the installment plan. If you look closely, you'll see that life in the aspiration trap often resembles a long-term installment plan. You buy happiness on credit, trading today's peace for tomorrow's promised joy. You postpone experiences, telling yourself, someday when I have enough, I'll start living. You fill your calendar with obligations, repayments, and appearances, leaving little room for real meaning. But someday rarely comes, and real living keeps getting postponed. The hidden toll on your soul. It's not just your schedule or your wallet that's depleted. The cost is spiritual, too. Every hour spent working for status or approval is an hour lost to self-discovery or genuine connection. Every next step in the endless ladder of achievement pulls you further from the contentment available in the present moment. Every day spent performing for others is a day stolen from the quiet voice inside you that knows what truly matters. The more you chase, the further away you get from yourself. The voices of regret. If you talk to people at the end of their lives, their regrets rarely revolve around the things they didn't buy. Instead, they speak of not spending enough time with loved ones, not pursuing passions or adventures that called to them, not listening to their hearts when the world told them what to want. They mourn the years lost to performing, pleasing, and chasing a dream that was never truly their own. Reclaiming your most precious resources. But this story doesn't have to end in regret. You can begin right now to reclaim your time, your freedom, your life. Question the cost. Before saying yes to another dream that demands your time, ask what you're giving up in return. Define your own success. Choose goals that align with your core values, not society's fleeting trends. Invest in presence. Find joy in the present, in real relationships, in creativity, in purpose, things that require no purchase and no performance. It may feel uncomfortable at first to step away from the endless chase, but as you reclaim your hours and your choices, you'll discover a deeper, quieter kind of wealth, the wealth of living your life on your own terms, with nothing to prove and nothing to lose. Are you ready to see how different your dreams and your days can feel when you finally make them your own? Next, let's explore how to question everything you've been taught to want and begin the journey of uncovering your real, unshakable dreams. Question everything, reclaiming your own dreams. Pause for a moment and imagine your life if you questioned every dream, every desire, every goal you've ever chased. What would remain if you stripped away everything society, advertising, social media, and even your family ever told you to want? What would your ambitions look like if they belonged to you and no one else? This is the beginning of freedom, the radical act of questioning everything. The courage to ask why. Most people never interrogate their desires. They want a luxury car because everyone seems to want one. They crave a certain career because it's prestigious. They aspire to own a house, travel to Instagram-famous destinations, or have the latest phone, not because it brings true joy, but because it fits the story they were told to want. But the simple, childlike question, why, is your most powerful weapon. Why do I want this? Why do I believe this will make me happy? Why do I measure my worth this way? Why do I feel behind if I haven't achieved it? Each why peels back a layer of conditioning, exposing where your dreams were planted and by whom. Distinguishing inherited dreams from authentic desires. It's not always easy to tell the difference between what you genuinely want and what you've been taught to want. Start by noticing how your desires feel. Inherited dreams often come with anxiety, pressure, or a constant sense of not enough. They're usually accompanied by comparison, competition, and fear of missing out. Authentic desires feel lighter, freer, and intrinsically motivating. They emerge from curiosity, creativity, love, or a sense of purpose, not from the need to impress, perform, or keep up. Try this. For each big goal or purchase you're considering, imagine telling no one about it, never posting, never sharing, never using it to prove anything. Would you still want it? If the answer is yes, you're getting closer to your true self. The process of unlearning. Reclaiming your dreams is often less about finding something new and more about unlearning the scripts handed to you by others. Let go of goals that don't light you up on the inside. Release the pressure to meet timelines or milestones set by society. Unsubscribe from influencers, channels, or brands that leave you feeling less than. Take breaks from social media, advertising, and the relentless noise of comparison. Give yourself permission to start with a blank page. Listening to your inner voice. Authentic dreams often whisper, not shout. They get drowned out by the constant noise of the world, but they never disappear. To hear them, you must slow down, get quiet, and ask yourself, what did I love doing before I cared what others thought? When do I feel most alive, peaceful, or in flow? What would I choose if I knew no one would judge me or reward me? Often, these questions reveal desires rooted in creativity, connection, service, exploration, or simple joy. These are the dreams that lead not just to moments of happiness, but to lasting fulfillment. Building a new dream from within. Once you've begun to separate the artificial from the authentic, you can start building a life that is truly yours. Set goals that reflect your values, not just your ambitions. Define success as personal growth, meaningful relationships, or positive impact, not merely possessions or prestige. Allow your dreams to evolve, unburdened by expectation or comparison. Remember, there is no single path, no universal timeline, no one-size-fits-all recipe for a good life. The world is full of stories about what you should want, but only you can write the story that's right for you.
the power of reclamation. This act of questioning is not selfish, it is revolutionary. When you reclaim your dreams, you break the cycle of engineered dissatisfaction and free yourself from a system that profits off your longing. You give others permission to do the same. You become a quiet force for authenticity in a noisy, performative world. And you discover at last what it means to be enough, right here, right now, without chasing anyone else's finish line. Are you ready to step off the conveyor belt and begin living by your own design? If so, the next part of your journey is to break the spell of engineered dreams and start building a life where every ambition, every milestone, and every joy is truly your own. Breaking the spell. How to stop consuming dreams and start creating them. Now that you've seen the machinery behind the dreams you chase, you might be wondering, how do I escape this trap and start living a life that's truly mine? Escaping the aspiration trap isn't about abandoning all ambition or retreating from the world. It's about breaking the spell of engineered desire and learning to create dreams from the inside out, not just consume them from the outside in. Let's begin this journey step by step. Step 1. Cultivate radical awareness. Awareness is the antidote to manipulation. The more conscious you become of where your desires come from, the less power outside forces have over you. Notice your triggers. What makes you want to buy, upgrade, or impress? Is it an ad, a post, a comment, a feeling of being behind? Observe your emotions. When do you feel most restless, jealous, or dissatisfied? These moments reveal where the system has hooked into your identity. Ask, who profits? Before chasing a new goal or making a big purchase, pause and ask, who really benefits if I go down this path? When you see the strings, you're less likely to dance to someone else's tune. Step 2. Interrupt the cycle. To break the spell, you must interrupt your patterns of automatic reaction and consumption. Create pause rituals. Before buying, upgrading, or posting, pause. Give yourself a few minutes, hours, or even days to reflect. Often the initial urge fades. Practice digital minimalism. Limit exposure to ads, influencer content, and status-driven social media. The less you see, the less you crave. Detox from comparison. Unfollow accounts that spark envy, shame, or inadequacy. Curate your digital world for peace, not pressure. Every pause, every act of conscious refusal weakens the system's hold on your mind. Step 3. Rediscover what moves you. Now, with the noise lowered, you can begin to listen for your authentic ambitions. Reconnect with passions. What did you love before you cared about status? What activities absorb you, make time disappear, or fill you with quiet excitement? Experiment without expectation. Let curiosity, not comparison, be your guide. Seek intrinsic rewards. Focus on pursuits that bring joy in the doing, not just the having. Creativity, learning, service, adventure, connection. The more you practice, the stronger your inner compass becomes. Step 4. Set goals that serve your soul. Shift your ambitions from performance to purpose. Align with your values. Choose dreams that reflect what matters most to you, even if they don't impress anyone else. Measure progress by fulfillment. Ask not, how does this look, but how does this feel? Celebrate quietly. Let achievements be for you, not for the audience. Private satisfaction is deeper and longer lasting than public applause. Success, redefined on your own terms, brings a satisfaction no status symbol can buy. Step 6. Build boundaries around your attention. The most precious resource you own is your attention. Guard it fiercely. Limit media intake. Don't let ads, algorithms, or influencers hijack your headspace. Protect your mornings and evenings. Start and end your day without the world's noise crowding out your own thoughts. Surround yourself with authenticity. Seek out people, books, and communities that value realness over appearance, substance over status. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Step 7. Practice gratitude and presence. Gratitude is a quiet revolution against engineered dissatisfaction. Notice what's already enough. Regularly pause to appreciate your current life, possessions, and achievements, not in comparison, but in genuine contentment. Anchor yourself in the present. Life isn't lived in the someday, but in the only place it ever exists, right now. You'll find that the more you practice gratitude and presence, the less power the outside world has to make you feel small. The power to create. When you break the spell, you become a creator of dreams, not a consumer of illusions. Your ambitions become your own, less noisy, less flashy, but infinitely more meaningful. You reclaim not just your time and money, but your spirit, the sense that your life is yours to shape, in big ways and small. Others may not understand at first. The world may continue selling illusions. But your joy, your fulfillment, your peace, these become proof that you've chosen wisely. You are no longer financing their dreams. You are finally living your own. Are you ready to walk the path of authenticity, even if it means leaving behind the applause of the crowd? Next, let's discover what it truly means to build a life that serves your soul and how to sustain this newfound freedom in a world determined to reclaim your attention.
The path to authenticity. Building dreams that serve your soul. Imagine waking up each morning not with anxiety or pressure or the weight of performance, but with a sense of quiet excitement. A feeling that your life fits you and not some invisible script written by society. This is the first taste of authenticity. Living by dreams that actually nourish your soul, not merely impress the world. But how do you build and sustain this path in a world that constantly tries to sell you someone else's version of happiness? Let's explore the mindset, practices, and courage required to forge a life that is deeply, unmistakably yours. Redefining success from what impresses to what matters. True authenticity begins by questioning not only your dreams, but your definition of success itself. Ask yourself, what does success really mean to me, apart from what others expect? Detach from external markers. Release your grip on accolades, applause, or envy. Realize that their approval will never feel as sweet or as lasting as your own. Prioritize inner alignment. Notice when your actions match your deepest values. There's a quiet confidence and peace that comes from living in integrity, even if no one is watching. When you shift from asking, "How do I look?" to "How do I feel?" you trade anxiety for meaning. You stop running a race you never chose. Listening to the whispers within. Authentic dreams don't always roar, they whisper. They tug gently at your attention, a creative project, a calling to help others, a desire for adventure, healing, or stillness. They persist even when ignored, surfacing again in quiet moments or when you let your guard down. They often feel strangely familiar, even if the world deems them unimpressive or impractical. To build dreams that serve your soul, you must get quiet enough to hear these whispers and brave enough to honor them. Practice. Set aside regular time for reflection, journaling, walks, meditation, or unstructured play. Ask yourself, if there were no applause, no judgment, What would I create, pursue, or become? Notice what stirs your heart, not your ego. Embracing the unpopular path. Choosing authenticity is an act of courage. It may mean saying no to opportunities that impress others but drain you inside. Disappointing people who expect you to live out their dreams. Facing moments of loneliness, doubt, or even ridicule as you walk a path few understand. But here's the quiet truth. The more you choose what truly matters to you, the more your confidence grows. You discover a different kind of belonging, not in the crowd, but in your own skin. You begin to attract relationships, opportunities, and joys that fit the real you, not the costume you used to wear. Stories of real freedom. Look around and you'll find examples everywhere. The corporate executive who leaves to start a small, meaningful business that lights her up, even if her income shrinks. The artist who creates not for sales or fame, but for the pure delight of the process. The parent who chooses time with family over another rung on the ladder. The young person who pursues adventure, service, or learning, not to be seen, but to truly live. These people might not go viral, but they go to bed with peace and wake up with purpose. The legacy of living true. Authenticity ripples outward. When you live your own truth, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage to step off the treadmill becomes a silent invitation for others to question, reclaim, and rewrite their own stories. One person's authenticity can inspire a family, a community, or even a generation. Making authenticity your daily practice. This isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. Revisit your values and realign your actions. Let go of comparison as often as necessary. Celebrate your small, quiet wins, those moments of integrity, honesty, and self-kindness. With each step, the spell weakens. With each day lived true, you reclaim a little more of your life from the world's machinery. You don't need the world's applause to be fulfilled. You need a life that feels true to you. Next, let's explore the liberating power of choosing less, how simplicity can become the gateway to freedom, contentment, and the kind of wealth money can't buy. Less is liberation, redefining success on your own terms. Imagine a life where success isn't measured by how much you own, but by how free you feel. Imagine waking up not weighed down by endless obligations, debt, or the chase for more, but instead feeling light, at home in your own skin, with space to breathe, dream, and be. This is the secret the system never wants you to discover. Simplicity is freedom. Less can be the gateway to more of what really matters. The myth of more. You've been taught to equate abundance with accumulation, more stuff, more upgrades, more experiences, more proof of your worth. But the reality is, the pursuit of more can become a prison. Every new possession needs to be paid for, maintained, insured, and kept up with. Every new achievement raises the stakes for the next one, turning life into an exhausting ladder with no top. The more you fill your life with shoulds, obligations, and expectations, the less room you have for joy, curiosity, and real connection. The truth is, most of what you truly crave, peace, creativity, love, and fulfillment, requires space, not clutter. The power of subtraction. What if, instead of asking, "What can I add to my life?" you began to ask, "What can I subtract?" Subtract commitments that drain you to create time for what enlivens you. Subtract possessions that weigh you down
so you can move freely and appreciate what remains. Subtract the voices, online and offline, that tell you you're never enough, so you can finally hear your own. Each act of letting go is an act of liberation. Redefining wealth and achievement. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on ambition. It means changing the game. Wealth. True wealth is the freedom to choose how you spend your days, not the size of your bank account. Achievement. True achievement is doing what matters most to you, not what looks impressive to others. Status. Real status is the quiet pride of living in alignment with your values, not chasing the latest trend. When you define success for yourself, you're no longer hostage to anyone else's scoreboard. Stories of simplicity and joy. The family who downsizes their home, cutting expenses, and discovers more time and less stress. The creative who owns fewer things, but more ideas, energy, and passion for their craft. The professional who chooses a slower pace, freeing herself from the performance race to travel, learn, and nurture deep relationships. These people may have less in the eyes of society, but they have more of what can't be bought: peace of mind, meaning, and joy. Practical steps to embrace less. Declutter with intention. Start small. Clear a closet, a drawer, a calendar day. Notice how letting go makes you feel. Set boundaries. Say no to obligations, relationships, or opportunities that no longer serve you. Practice gratitude. Regularly list what you appreciate about your life as it is, not as others say it should be. Savor the present. Instead of rushing to the next purchase or goal, practice being fully present with what and who you have now. Remember, every no to something that doesn't fit is a yes to something that does. The lightness of enough. As you simplify, a quiet, extraordinary thing happens. You discover the lightness of enough. Enough money to meet your real needs and dreams. Enough time to explore, connect, and grow. Enough approval, most importantly, from yourself. The dream life stops being a distant, expensive fantasy. It becomes your everyday reality, simple, grounded, and yours. Freedom isn't found in the next upgrade, the next win, or the next possession. Freedom is found in letting go, until all that remains is what truly matters. Ready to move from consumer to creator and discover how to live the life you truly desire? Let's journey there together in the next chapter. From consumer to creator, living the life you truly desire. You've spent much of your life in the role of consumer, absorbing images, desires, and dreams carefully engineered by others. But the real transformation happens when you choose to become the creator of your own life, not just a participant in someone else's script. This is where fulfillment finally begins. No longer trapped in the cycle of wanting, buying, and comparing, you step into the freedom of building a life that's original, meaningful, and unmistakably your own. The shift from passive to active. Being a consumer is passive. You wait for the next trend, the next upgrade, the next dream marketed to you. Being a creator is active. You decide what matters. You design your days around your values, not someone else's ambitions. You invest your energy, time, and resources into what you want to build, not just what you want to acquire. This shift is subtle but profound. It's the difference between drifting downstream and learning to steer your own ship. Creating instead of consuming. Imagine what life could be like if, instead of chasing someone else's idea of happiness, you write your own story, choosing adventures, relationships, and projects that excite and fulfill you. Create beauty, meaning, or value in the world, however you define it, through art, entrepreneurship, service, community, or family. Turn your energy from comparing to contributing, from scrolling to shaping, from consuming to making. When you become a creator, you are less swayed by the winds of comparison. Your sense of worth is grounded in the doing, not the having. Small beginnings, big transformations. You don't have to start with grand gestures. Creation begins in the smallest choices. Cooking a meal from scratch instead of ordering takeout. Planting a garden or learning a craft. Writing, painting, making music or building something with your hands. Starting a side project, a small business, or volunteering in your community. Designing a daily routine that nurtures your body and soul. Every act of creation, no matter how modest, is a declaration, I am the author of my life. Building your own legacy. Ask yourself, what do I want to leave behind? Not in possessions, but in impact. What kind of relationships, experiences, and memories do I want to cultivate? How do I want people to feel after spending time with me? The answers to these questions guide you toward goals that last, dreams that matter, and a life story that feels true. Resisting the pull of old patterns. Even as you begin to create, the world will try to pull you back into consumption. Ads, trends, and peer pressure will whisper that you're missing out. But you now have the tools to resist. Return to your why. Remember how you feel when you create versus when you merely consume. Surround yourself with other creators, people who inspire, challenge, and support you. Celebrating progress over perfection. Being a creator isn't about perfection, it's about presence and progress. Some days you'll make, others you'll rest. What matters is your commitment to living on purpose, not by default. Celebrate the steps, the experiments, and even the failures, because they are all yours. The fulfillment of the creative life. As you build, you'll find a different kind of joy. The satisfaction of bringing something new into the world. The connection of collaborating, sharing, and uplifting others. The quiet confidence of knowing your days are well spent, rooted in what you value most. No purchase can ever compete with the wealth of a life lived as a creator. You were never meant to be a passive consumer of someone else's dream. You were born to imagine, to shape, to contribute, and to create. Are you ready to step fully into that role? The final chapter awaits, a call to awaken, to claim your own dreams, and to write a story that no one else can. Wake up to your true dreams. The world will always offer you a ready-made dream. A glossy, crowded road paved by others and lined with promises that rarely deliver. But your heart knows another path, quieter but truer, the way of authentic living, where your ambitions, joys, and milestones are chosen by you and for you. It's time to wake up, not just from the trance of consumption, but into the power and possibility of your real life. A final call to courage. Waking up to your true dreams means stepping away from the noise and trusting your own instincts. It means questioning what you're told to want, what you're pressured to chase, and daring to listen to the still small voice inside you that whispers, "There's more to life than this." Courage is required because the world rewards conformity and punishes difference. But every great story, every breakthrough, every life well lived began with a single moment of honest awakening. Writing your own story. No one else can live your life, dream your dreams, or measure your fulfillment for you. Your story is yours to write, messy, beautiful, imperfect, but unmistakably original. Maybe your true dream is quieter, time with family, creative freedom, a life close to nature. Maybe it's bold, launching a new venture, changing careers, traveling the world. Maybe it's simply peace, enoughness, presence, belonging to yourself at last. Whatever it is, let it be real,
Let it be yours. Start today in small ways. You don't have to overhaul your life in a single dramatic leap. Awakening happens in moments. Saying no to an obligation that drains you. Saying yes to something that stirs you. Pausing before a purchase to ask, who is this really for? Spending 10 minutes a day on what makes you feel alive. Each small act of awareness and authenticity is a seed. Plant enough of them, and a new life will grow. Let go of permission. You don't need approval to dream differently. You don't need to earn the right to be happy, free, or true. The only permission slip that matters is the one you write for yourself. The ripple effect. When you live your truth, quietly and bravely, you create space for others to do the same. Your example whispers, it's possible to opt out of the chase, to define success for yourself, to find contentment and meaning on your own terms. Authenticity is contagious. One honest life can inspire 1,000 more. The journey begins anew. The aspiration trap loses its power the moment you see it for what it is. And every day you have the chance to choose again, to wake up, to come home to yourself, to walk a path that feels right in your bones. Remember, you are not here to finance someone else's dream. You are here to live your own. So wake up, begin, write a story only you can tell. And as you do, you'll find that what you've been searching for all along was never out there. It was within you, waiting for you to come alive. This is your invitation. Wake up, dream true, live free.